You're tuned into Human by AI with Ashish Garg. Real, unscripted conversations about how humans and AI are shaping the future of community finance. Grab your favorite drink and let's dive in.
Welcome back to another edition of my podcast, Human by AI. Very excited to have a very young entrepreneur, at least young to the credit union movement. Vyjayanthi Vadrevu is here today. Vyjayanthi, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and is this the first venture tech conference you've attended?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So for our audience, tell us a little bit more about you.
Sure. I am an applied anthropologist, and like you said, it's my first venture tech conference. It feels like the first time I'm presenting my company at a credit union conference. And let's see, as an applied anthropologist, I worked at several institutions, including Capital One, leading research at their innovation lab, and a number of other large companies, consulting companies. And the whole premise is true to your show, bringing the human element in all of these systems and all of these processes.
I see.
Yeah.
So applied anthropologist. Let's slice that little by little. So what is anthropology, by the way?
Anthropology is the study of what it means to be human.
I see.
And there's different layers to that. I'm a cultural anthropologist, but you can be a physical anthropologist. That's typically what people think of, like Jane Goodall and bless her heart, and others that study evolution. Linguistic anthropology tells you how the languages you learned inform how you conceive of the world, because certain terms are absent in language. So you can imagine if you don't have a term for snow because you never saw it, you literally don't have a concept of snow, and your world is devoid of snow. And there's deeper words like that. But cultural kind of encompasses all of this, and it's how do you move through the world based on how you were raised from every aspect of the cultures you were exposed to, and the values, beliefs, even the myths, even the taboos.
I see. So cultural anthropologist. And what does that mean, applied anthropology? What does that mean? It's
applied to solving real world problems, no matter what industry, what sector. So it's one of those tools. Ethnography is the toolbox, the toolkit that anthropologists use. I have yet to find a space where it can't help.
I see.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about your sort of cultural upbringing. Where did you grow up, et cetera,
Oh,
et cetera?
sure. Yeah. So I grew up in Chicago, born and raised in the city. And I feel like my first 10 years of life, it was a utopian community of children of immigrants from all over the world. So my formative years were spent hearing 20 different languages. From Korean to Spanish to Tagalog, Armenian, and then my family spoke Telugu growing up, South Indian language. So that's my norm. And I feel like that is probably what led me to anthropology, because immersing myself in different cultures when I went to someone's house was my norm, and it was my safe space, and it was very exciting all at the same time.
Yeah, fascinating. The key thing I want to explore here is there's of course a lot of discussion about what AI can solve, the efficiency gains, et cetera, but definitely not enough conversation about humans and what humans can solve. So what I want to know from you is, are you an AI skeptic or AI believer?
I have to be an AI believer. I started an AI company. But with that said, I'm skeptical of AI that is built on the existing systems without any fine-tuning, without any human intelligence and intervention. And that's simply because the AI systems we have today are representative of a very small group. You can imagine that the term weird, Western, industrialized, educated, rich, democratic. So it's a certain perspective. It's not all perspectives. So when you do fine tuning, when you create your own metrics of success, you need to input and inform your AI models with different perspectives so that they can be that much more favorable to people who are not in that kind of Western, almost white-centric space.
I see.
Yeah.
And what makes you believe that right now the AI model or the AI technology being built, I guess most of it's being built in Silicon Valley, Is that how you land at that conclusion that it's very industrial,
It's
Western?
Yeah, and it's not just me. There's several. I didn't coin that term. It's several academic studies. It's become more and more the norm to understand that is the perspective being represented. Now, if I did an undercover ethnography at Scale AI, there's human in the loop training that they do. So you look at AI models and you say, this is excellent, this is accurate, this is representative of answering the question the way the user wants. But again, it's trained on a certain set of standards and one set of standards. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it's one set of standards, then it's one perspective. And again, you're back to that same issue. So yes, even if you translate to a different language, the actual values don't get translated. The beliefs and what's important to, our context versus someone who was raised in San Francisco, it's just going to be different.
So how do we go about fixing that in AI? Of course, right now, this is growing at a breakneck speed. How do you go about fixing that sort of inherent bias that you're talking about in the way it's being built? How do we fix that?
Well, our company, Incluya, we're fixing it by hiring, of course, anthropologists, psychologists, people who've grown up in different parts of the globe to come in and say, okay, for example, financial security is obviously what we're dealing with. What does security? What does peace? What does a good life look like for this type of person or this type of cultural perspective versus that type of cultural perspective, and then baking that in. And similarly, the fears are going to be very culturally based.
Yes.
And the shame and the stigma, and actually what you talk about, because our app experience is all about giving people a safe space to talk about their finances. And there's different levels of, what people will divulge based on what's normal to them. So we are training it to be sensitive to those different contexts and saying someone who came from this background, they might not answer this question very upfront. They might not give you the whole truth because it's a little awkward versus someone else who comes from a culture that is more open about financial health and talking about it. They'll answer it more fully. So you have to kind of guide people and meet them where they're at.
Yeah. And I love what you said is that when it comes to financial wellness, the concept of peace. And I have seen that myself, that the concept of peace is very cultural.
Exactly.
Right. It means very, very different things to different people. I think maybe in certain culture, just being able to live paycheck to paycheck is peaceful. But in certain cultures, having a tremendous sort of account balance is what gives you peace.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've had lots of guests on my show, and we're talking a lot about how AI can sort of drive efficiency in financial institutions, very specifically so credit unions. So tell me about that. Where do you see efficiency gain if AI is applied?
Again, I'll speak just from our perspective, which is, previously you might have to do the work that we're doing and the outputs and insights and intelligence that we're baking in, you would need a financial therapist, a behavioral economist, an anthropologist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and a credit union specialist to come in and sit at a table and talk through one member's entire life. So now we can synthesize all of that and be very sensitive about training our models to be all of these perspectives and give you the outputs of saying this person from all these expert perspectives needs this kind of guidance, and for their version of financial peace, to get them to their version of financial peace, this is the path.
I see. So instead of needing 6 different people sitting next to a member who might be scared by 6 people sitting on the same table.
Exactly, yeah.
Really leveraging the power of AI, which is pre-trained on such topics, and maybe that conversation can be that one-on-one conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. So if AI can take all this information from all these different disciplines, synthesize that, give you some outputs or results regarding peace for that or financial peace for that particular person, then where do humans really add value?
Humans will always be needed to adjust and kind of preserve the integrity of these systems, because They all hallucinate. That's just a fact. You know, I don't think any system out there can say we're 100% hallucination proof. And I, for one, will, you know, as we get funding, will want to employ a constant stream of these experts to constantly fine tune and adjust and give new information and new forms of intelligence. And you might say, okay, well then are they rendering themselves obsolete by doing that? Like they're pouring their whole brain into us, right? That's no, there's always going to be new scenarios that the AI just simply cannot comprehend. That a human mind can say, okay, you know, while I've never seen this, I know how to offer empathy and intelligence and a perspective from my expertise in this new scenario that the AI is like, I don't know, we're just gonna, you know, AI is intelligent to a point. You still need so much human intervention to make it, at least from what I see, to make it the intelligence level that I think is worthy.
Yeah. And intelligence is just one piece of the puzzle, right? Like, let's explore some other angles. How about this sort of the emotional piece? That's what really makes humans what they are, right? So can sort of the AI models you and your team are working on, do they address some of the emotional pieces?
Yeah, we're all about addressing the emotional undercurrent of financial decision making. And again, that's where the psychology piece comes in, but that is also where the cultural piece comes in. Because to be truly to make someone feel emotionally safe enough to share their innermost secrets and fears and even dreams and wishes, you need to feel familiar to them.
Yes.
And you need to say, hey, I understand you. I get completely where you're coming from. You can open up to me, and you do not need to prove yourself or explain yourself. I get you, right? And then they start opening up, and I think that, you know, providing an emotional layer in every experience is going to start becoming the norm.
Yeah, and this is what I call human connection.
Yes.
Which starts with building trust. And a lot of times trust gets built with strangers, especially on finding common ground. Right? Either sort of where you come from, how did you grow up, what are your interests in soccer, football, etc. Like all of us, when we meet somebody new, we're trying to look for that common ground so that we can then build that trust. Yeah. Which then builds the connection, and then you can open up.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So last question as we wrap up. This has been a fascinating conversation. If there's one thing AI can solve for you in your personal life, what would that be?
In my personal life, I think it can help me organize my mind, because I think I have a lot of ideas and I just get so scatterbrained sometimes. I think you can relate. You're an entrepreneur. I'm sure you, and you're doing so many things, and I can only imagine it's the tip of the iceberg. You want to do so many more, but you can't keep bombarding your brain with new ideas. So AI can be like, no, just focus on this. Almost like make me forget about the new ideas for a while. That would be great.
Yeah. By the way, there was an AI invented thousands of years ago known as meditation.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Whenever I get scatterbrained, I have too many ideas, I try to like shut my mind. And partly I meditate. For me, music is meditation, or singing is meditation. I have a feeling I know what your meditation is, which is?
Dance.
Exactly.
Dance. Well, on that note, just want to say one thing. AI, I heard someone refer to it as ancient intelligence. And we need artificial intelligence, but we really need ancient intelligence in there.
Beautifully said. Okay.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure having you on our podcast.
Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed, and look forward to seeing you again and again and again. This is a very fast evolving space.
Yes.
And finally in my life, I met a applied anthropologist, and I actually know what that means. So thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.